other conviction.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
All right, let's begin. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Judge Law, and we are going to begin with our ORCA misdemeanor calendar for today, February 2nd, 2024. This is the 1:30 p.m. calendar. I'm going to do a brief roll call to see who is present. These are individuals whose misdemeanor cases have been reset in anticipation of taking a final plea. If the plea is not going to move forward, then we can arraign the case if it's not been previously arraigned and further notice it for trial. If you're a defendant appearing in person or via Zoom, please remember that you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say in open court, your statements can and will be used against you. Mr. DeCosta, Mr. Glanville, have we let everyone in from the waiting room?
There's no one in the waiting room at the moment, Your
Okay.
Honor.
As I'm saying, if you are a defendant and I've already advised you of your right to remain silent, you have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to represent you. All right, position one on our final plea calendar is Charles Sella, C-E-L-L-A, Attorney Jeffrey Hood. Good morning, sir. Good afternoon, sorry.
Daniel Blackman. I'm
Okay.
on behalf of Mr. Jeff Hood. He's out today.
Where is he?
He's in New Orleans. He's out.
Why is he out?
He's the attorney on behalf of.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the defendant. I'm so sorry.
I'm Attorney Blackman. I'm here.
I didn't- Oh, I thought you were trying to explain to me where your defendant is. Okay.
I'm taking this place.
Where's Mr. Sella?
Mr. Fellows here. I'm right
All right.
here.
Okay, sorry.
Also.
All right. And what are we doing today?
Your Honor, we're gonna take the final plea. We just need, Mr. Sellers just needs more time to take care of some business, but the next time you come here, he's gonna plead. He wants to plead to this what the state record.
What needs to be done?
Wants to do something completion before he takes.
What difference does it make? What difference does it make whether you do it while on probation or you do it now?
Your Honor, I would feel more comfortable.
No, I'm not comfortable. I just need to know why it needs to be done. What do you need to get done?
So I have
No, let your attorney speak. What needs to be done?
We need some of the more recommendations that's on the plea, Your Honor. But he definitely wants to take the plea. He just don't want it to, if we could just maybe, even you could set it out 2 weeks for him to come back and take the plea, Your Honor.
No, sir. Tell me why we need okay. While we are waiting for Mr. Seller, is there a Krista Cousin? Krista Cousin? Attorney Scott Miller, any word? Krista Cousin, are you on Zoom?
Can I step outside for a minute?
Sure. LaQuasia Obas, Ms. Rosenhuber?
Yes, Judge. Ms. Obus is present. We would request a motions hearing for this case. I intend to file motions this or by next week.
All right, has all discovery been submitted?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Reset a motions calendar. Ms. Obas, your case is going to be scheduled for a motions hearing. Is your officer available? Ms. Gutierrez? Oh, Ms. Kasdakis? Okay. All right, you're going to come back to court in person for a motions calendar, and we will address it at that time. Thank you. You're free to go. Laura Page, Mr. Richardson?
Yes, Your Honor, we just received a new offer and I think we're prepared to move forward with the plea today.
All right. You'll be first up, sir. Okay. Now the next calendar I'm going to call is what we call the show cause calendar. These were matters that were reset from individuals who either didn't show up or were appearing to show cause in certain cases, maybe compliance, so forth. Anthony Bullard, position 1 and 2. Anthony Bullard. Not present?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. That's my case, Karen Shelley, on behalf of Mr. Bullard.
Yeah.
My case, I've had no contact with him.
All right,
State requested bench warrant, he didn't appear at the last hearing, Your Honor.
that's correct.
I
Okay.
apologize, Judge. Could the state turn on their mic?
Could you hear me, Ms. Shelley?
Yes, I can hear you.
I was saying that he didn't appear at the last hearing, so the state requested bench warrant.
That's it.
Okay.
And what I'm-
On the 1,
Yes.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, on the Anthony Bullitt, position number 1 is a bench warrant, and that's going to be a $1,200 surety bond, $100 on each count. And position number 2, that's going to be a bench warrant, it's going to be $1,000 surety. Position number 3, Brendan Cardenas. Brendan Cardenas.
I emailed Ms. Watson Cafe about this. I haven't heard back from her. The state requested bench warrant.
Bench warrant granted, $1,000 surety. Position 4, Megan Constanza Eberhardt.
Judge, this is my case, and I did speak with Ms. Costanza Eberhardt just yesterday. If I could be given an opportunity to try to
Sure.
reach her.
We'll hold on him. And then, position 5, Alexis Emmanuel.
Ms. Emmanuel, Judge, this is also my case. I did not receive any contact information for this person when this case was transferred to me, and I have not been able to make contact.
Okay, so bench warrant, that's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's $2,500 surety bond, 500 on each count. D'Angelo Getty.
Good morning, Judge. That's going to be my case. Is Mr. Getty present on the Zoom call or in court?
D'Angelo Getty.
I've had no contact with Mr. Getty.
All right, it's gonna be a $2,000 surety bond on a bench warrant. Rodriguez Hendricks.
That's good.
Rodriguez Lamar Hendricks.
Excuse me, Your Honor, I just had a little frog in my throat there.
Okay,
My case, and I have no contact with him.
all right, so $3,000 surety bond, 500 on each count. And Justin Noah Wallace.
Mr. Wallace, Judge, this case was very recently transferred to me. I don't have contact information, and I have not heard from this individual.
Okay, this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, $1,500 surety bond, 250 on each count. And Raquan Jack Wright Scott.
Good morning. Is Mr. Scott or Wright Scott present on Zoom or in court? Judge, I haven't had any contact with Mr. Raquan.
Okay, this is going to be a $2,000 surety bench warrant. Okay. All right, hopefully Mr. Constanza Eberhardt will appear.
Yes, Judge, I'm reaching out now.
Okay, Mr. Richardson, let's address Laura Page, please. Do we have the paperwork?
1 moment.
Okay.
Here's one. You need this one too. It's, no, but it's here.
They just called, And Judge, just so the court knows, Ms. Costanza Eberhardt is in the building. She's just a little bit lost
Okay,
at the moment, but
Okay.
she's coming.
all right. Let's go ahead and proceed with Ms. Page.
Yeah, no, you need you need this one too. Aren't you glad I'm here?
Ms. Watson, did an order, as being appointed attorney for this case. I was just like,
January 1st,
January
But
24th.
if it's her.
24. Okay, she's still supposed to be here. What's this, February
Her
2nd?
second.
Yes.
There she is.
Hello, Your Honor.
Speak of the angel. Yes.
I still haven't, I understand a bench warrant has already been issued. I still haven't had any contact with him, so.
Okay. Let's see. That's $1,000 surety bond,
Mhm.
bench warrant, and hopefully he'll reach out to you once that warrant's out.
Okay,
All right.
All right.
Anything else?
Nope,
All right.
all right. I can be
You're good.
excused.
Yes, thank you.
Your Honor.
While we're waiting on the possible plea, Mr. Blackman, do you have an announcement? Okay. Not ready?
I don't need all this stuff.
Right. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, yeah.
Already typed it. I don't need the accusations for, position 4D, Lauren paid. You don't need the accusations for position 4D. I mean, wait a minute, I'm sorry, on final plea, is paid. Okay. I didn't know it was gonna be, if this is the right thing to take. But she already pre-typed it. They just, they never confirmed it. Attorney, Richard, he's outside. His position for the final. You can. Got clipboard.
I'm sure it is.
Yes, Judge, position number 4 on the show cause calendar, Miss Costanza Eberhart is present. I did just receive an offer as well as videos from the state. I'll convey that to Miss Costanza Eberhart now, but since I haven't reviewed the videos, we may be asking for a reset.
All right, go ahead and see what she says.
Okay.
And to be honest, Your Honor, Ms. Hoover is going to be transferred to a different division. So I will take that case and I accept the phone number and I'll enter an appearance or substitution of counsel.
All right, noted. I'm just waiting for my 2 pleas to go forward, so I guess we are just in a holding pattern right now.
That's correct. And I would not, obviously, I just asked for position number 4 to be continued to a final plea or jury trial status so that I can go over the videos that Ms. Reisenhower is going to receive from the state.
Okay, thank you. Miss Helen, your client, or maybe this is not your client, Rodriguez Hendricks. I'm going to hold off on the bench warrant. We've been told that he's on his way en route to court, so.
I apologize, Judge. Was that position 7 for me?
Is that your client, Hendricks?
Let me double check here, Judge.
I don't think so. I think that was
I
Attorney
thought that
Katie
was
Maxwell.
Miss Shelley's.
Is that yours, Miss Shelley?
Yes, it is. It is
Okay.
my, I'm just looking,
Rodriguez Hendricks.
yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna hold and wait for him to appear.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Blackman, for Mr. Seller.
Yes, Your Honor, we're gonna ask the court to, we can get a continuance for him to take a, final plea. The reason being, and I told him I'll put this in front of the judge, and if the judge is not inclined to, continue this case, he would have to take the plea today.
Denied.
Yes. Well, she denied it already, so. Yeah, take the plea today.
Your Honor, best speak.
Well, he's been.
I'm waiting to listen to a solid gold reason why there's a reset. I haven't heard one.
He wants to reset, Your Honor, because he needs his driver's, according to him, he needs his driver's license. His driver's license will be revoked today. He needs his driver's license. He has one more intensive outpatient treatment to go to. It's about 45 minutes away from his home, and he needs a license to do that. In addition to that, Your Honor, he also needs a license to pick up a vehicle that he's going to be purchasing. So after he can go and do his other things that's in the plea agreement, Your Honor.
Okay.
So
The reason for purchasing the vehicle, that's denied. Tell me about this treatment thingy.
I'll let him tell you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I've been going to a 10-week intensive outpatient program downtown. I live in Sandy Springs. It's 45 minutes from my house. I've got 1 week left. I've done 9 weeks successfully completed. I did my assessment for my mental health eval and my drug evaluation. So I'm at the very tail end to get about to graduate from this 10-week program. I'm going 5 days a week. And so I am about to finish that and graduate. I also have my requirements for my community service I do for probation every weekend.
Which is this probation for another case or for this case?
Just for this case, Your Honor, he just wants.
This case,
Yeah, he wants
okay.
to make sure he's trying to get all this done while he has his license, so he won't violate. But once he doesn't have a license, these things will be more difficult to go to, and he's gonna be in risk of maybe being in violation of his probation or order by not being able to get there. So if he could just have some time to finish some of the things that's in his plea agreement, Your Honor, then, but he's definitely gonna plead to it.
What is the plea? What's he pleading guilty to?
On the same possession, open alcohol container and obstruction.
Okay, and is this a first and lifetime DUI?
Yes.
So I'll grant him a affidavit of first conviction and he'll get limited permit to drive.
Yes, Your Honor, but that may take some time for me to get that
No,
permit.
it won't. If he can surrender it today, we can give it to him today.
You give it to him today?
Yeah, the affidavit, and all he has to do is go to DDS and get the limited. Anyways, whether he does it today or whether he does it 1 week from today, he's still not going to be able to drive. His license will be suspended.
And that's why he was asked for a week, Your Honor, so
That's
to
why
finish this.
I don't have a week. If I reset it, this will be weeks out. and I don't have a reset date to give you.
Yeah, well, can we?
And I'm not gonna reset it indefinitely.
Well, let me, can I ask you this, Your Honor? I don't know if the court's gonna be inclined to do this, but, since he only needs about a week or two, Your Honor, can he sign the, can he just do this like, and you hold it in abeyance, and sign off on it? I'm just trying to think of a way that he
I'll
can,
permit him to drive for 1 week
thank you, Your Honor.
for limited purposes. Limited purposes including work, medical, picking up children, for, going to church, going to probation, stuff like that. But he cannot use the vehicle for recreational purposes.
Okay, so he can keep his license for a week. You'll hold this in abeyance.
I will allow him to drive for 1 week,
Okay, thank you.
under limited purposes.
Unlimited persons.
Right.
And then, I guess his,
And then I'll grant him an affidavit of first
after a
conviction.
week.
No, it'll already be all sua sponte, and then he can go ahead and apply for his limited driving permit.
Okay, but his license will be good for 1 more week.
Correct.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
And we'll take that
It was-
today,
that-
just these, documents.
I just emailed you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome, sir. Mr. Seller, I will delay a case for bona fide reasons. Those were not bona fide reasons. All right, so go ahead. You had that 1 week, but I need you all to get the paper together. I have, this is from this morning?
Yes.
Okay,
Your Honor, so you want them to come back next Friday?
yeah,
They not-
just to get his, surrender his, they'll know that, trust me, I'll let them know.
Okay.
Ms. Rosenhuber, did you have a question?
I just have an announcement, Judge, whenever you're ready.
Almost.
Take your time.
And then I'm gonna go to, the state, so I can
Mhm.
get the information. Thank you.
Okay, you have an announcement for position 4 on the show cause calendar?
That's correct, Your Honor. I have spoken with her as well as the state. Like I said earlier, we just got the videos today. I would request a final plea calendar.
Ms. Shelley, that is your client from this moment onwards?
Oh, yes.
And
That's correct.
Megan Constanza Ebert, who is that? All right,
Costanza Eberhard.
Eberhard. Ms. Eberhard, you can come forward because I need you to look at the screen.
Oh, yeah.
Miss, Miss Constanza, am I saying your name correctly? I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly. I'm going to be your attorney, if that is okay with you. I'm the public defender, assistant public defender. Can I make sure that we've got your, well, are you present in court with Miss Weisenhuber?
She is.
Yes, she is.
And
Okay,
I have all of her contact information and I'll work
Perfect.
on getting all that to y'all.
thank you. Yes,
All right.
and I will be your attorney and we'll look at the videos and decide whether or not we need to plead guilty, NOLO, or try and get this reduced with the state. Or go to a jury trial.
Okay, so that's your new attorney and you're going to keep in touch with her. Your case is going to be reset for a final plea. You have to appear in person and hopefully by then you and your attorney would have all your paperwork and the agreement in place already. Okay, you're free to go. Thank you.
Ms. Weisenhuber, can you make sure she has my email address as well?
Ms. Rosenhuber is going to make sure she gets all the contact information,
She's wonderful. Thank you.
even your birthday, so you get a birthday card. Hello, hello.
Yes, good to see you, Ron.
Yes, sir. Who do you represent?
He's present. We are on the calendar, Justin, we put it in our today.
Okay. You plan to do what now, sir?
Good injury.
Okay. Paperwork's all squared away?
The paperwork is not quite good.
Okay, so, all right, I'm just gonna add you to the list. It's a growing list, but healthy. Thank you. Okay. And, page. Mr. Richardson, are we ready? Are we still doing paperwork?
I have your honor. I was just checking over.
I wouldn't leave my stuff.
So.
Sarita.
Mr. Yeah, we have. I'm trying to give you the other form to fill out the probation.
Ask her to suspend.
Ready, Ms. Casadakis?
Balance. of
All right.
inflation on you.
This is State versus Laura Page, case number 21 CR 005564A. Ms. Page was originally accused of driving under the influence of
She knows
alcohol
she's
less
been-
safe and speeding from May 20th, 2020 in Fulton County, Georgia. Ms. Page, you've been advised of your right to remain silent. Anything you say in open court, the statements can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney, and Mr. Richardson will be your counsel. As we move forward, the state is going to allocate the recommendations in exchange for a guilty plea. Are we proceeding on the speeding charge as well? All right, what's the speed range?
The state's recommendation for the DUI, let's say.
Oh, no, what's the speed range? I was just wondering.
The speed limit was,
Speed limit was 45.
45 in a
Yes.
what? In a
No, it was she was traveling, the officer has her traveling 60 in a 45.
60 and a 45. Is that what we're moving forward with?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can we do a 59 and a 45?
I hope so. We can do something better, you know.
Yes.
You won't know till you ask, right? Okay, so the speeding will be 59 and a 45. Okay, and so what's gonna happen is the state's gonna allocate the recommendation, and then after that, your attorney will say a few very important things, and then I'll ask you a couple of questions, all right? Could you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth for the purposes of the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Kastakis?
Let's say it's the first and 10 statutory minimums, 12 months probation, served 1 day. Credit for time served 1 day, balance prorated, no early termination, a $300 fine, 40 hours community service, risk reduction, drug alcohol evaluation, 1 victim impact panel, license suspended. As for the speeding count 2, it's a fine of $150. And does the opposing counsel stick with the factual basis venue and ID?
Yes.
Mr. Richardson, your client agrees to the terms?
I'm sorry, your judge.
Your client agrees to the terms?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Page, have you consumed any medicine or alcohol recently?
I take medication.
Okay. Has that impaired your ability to understand what's going on or your lawyer's explanations?
No, Your Honor.
All right. And have you understood the proceedings so far?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is anyone forcing you or inducing you to take a plea offer today?
No, Your Honor.
And are you doing so freely, willingly, and knowingly?
Yes, Your Honor.
As your attorney has explained, if you decide to plead guilty, you would be foregoing and giving up your right to a trial before a judge or jury. You will not have the opportunity to confront your accuser, challenge the witnesses and evidence brought against you, have your attorney present your legal arguments and defenses if you choose to do so, as well as have the state carry its burden to prove the charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you understand by pleading guilty that this will have an impact possibly on your residency, any other open cases you may have, on any professional licenses you may have?
Yes, Your Honor.
And there's no right to appeal from a negotiated plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
How do you plead to 1 count of driving under the influence of alcohol less safe and speeding 59 and a 45?
Guilty, Your Honor.
Your sentence for the DUI is 12 months of probation, 12 months to serve 1 day, credit for time served 1 day. The remainder of the time will be on probation. You will report to the probation office on February 15, 2024 before 3 p.m. The probation office is located at 132 Mitchell Street in downtown Atlanta. While you're on probation, you will comply with the following conditions: pay a $300 fine, complete a risk reduction program, undergo a alcohol and drug evaluation with a qualified healthcare provider, and submit yourself to any treatment as required at your expense. You will also complete 40 hours of voluntary community service at any nonprofit agency that's not a church and not a school. The probation officer will also arrange for you to attend and complete one victim impact panel. All right? This is a continuous probation, so you'll have to report every month for the 12 months as sentenced. Your license will be suspended, but I'll grant you an affidavit of first conviction. So you may, upon your surrender of your driver's license, you will receive the affidavit. You can take that to the Department of Driver Services, which will issue you a limited permit. That will allow you to operate a vehicle for necessary reasons, including work, travel, medical, to attend court, to attend probation, and so forth. But you cannot use it for recreational purposes. On the speeding matter, it's speeding 59 and a 45, and it'll be $150 fine, payable also through probation. Anything else?
Just one other thing, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
I'd make a request. She's a school teacher. She's always been a school teacher. She's been praised and honored by the state for what she's, for the accomplishments and the commitment that she's made as a teacher. Would the court consider, after she's satisfied each and every condition and every order that you've requested of her, would the court consider some kind of early suspension of probation, or at least non-reporting of probation after she's? Well,
And the reason for the objection?
Because they would object to early termination of probation.
I'm not going early termination. Any objection to non-reporting?
No.
Non-reporting is available after she's completed all the conditions as set forth.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Also, Your Honor, the defendant said that officer's license and he arrested her, so she's not gonna.
Well, our resident suspended licenses expert is on Zoom, Ms. Karen Shelley. And
Well, it's on the video. If the state had looked at the video, you can see the officer seizing her license. So
right.
it's on the video. I've seen it, and she has no reason to lie to Your Honor
Oh,
about
no,
her
no,
license.
that's not what I was trying to say. That's my facetious way of saying that one of our public defense attorney is an expert on how to get a limited driving permit. If your license is
Well,
surrendered.
I'm sorry, I guess I misunderstood it.
That's okay. It's been a long day. Ms.
What was your-
Shelley?
What was
Yes.
your, Your Honor?
If you could just give us again the background of an individual whose license was surrendered at the time of a DUI arrest, but it's been a few years since then.
My question would be to counsel, was the individual served with a 1205, which is the DDS 1205 form, because of course we've got criminal court and we've got DDS court, administrative court. So if your client perhaps needs to see, is her license or his license suspended at this point?
The client was never served with a 1205 as far as I know. Did you receive a notice from the officer that your license were being suspended and that you would have to have a hearing in order to challenge that suspension?
No, we filed within he told me to file something within that 10-day period that you filed for me to, so I drove on, I guess, whatever that yellow piece of paper was.
So I think what we're gonna have her do is check with the Department of Driver Services website, and you check under your license number. All right?
Okay.
And if your license indicates valid, because normally it's suspended for 1 year. So since it's been more than 1 year since then, you can check and see your license status. If it's valid, upon this conviction, your license will be suspended again.
I'll explain.
All right? And but since I'm granting you the affidavit of first conviction, then it's just a question of getting the disposition to Department of Driver Services to let them know that you've never regained your license back, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so you just need to take the affidavit and the disposition of the court and go to the Department of Driver Services to get issued a limited driving permit.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else, Mr. Richardson?
Will we be given that affidavit or certificate of first offense right now, Judge?
Yes, as soon as I sign it.
Okay.
I just have a seat right there.
Okay, you're gonna give her the probation information? Okay,
Yes, yes.
thank you. We'll just have a seat. We'll just have a seat.
Your Honor, my client, position number 7, just appeared. He's on the show cause calendar. Would you mind excusing me while I give him a telephone call?
That'll be fine. Thank you.
Thank you.
Driver's license number.
I know it by heart.
Okay. I'm gonna have you just put it on this piece of paper.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you know that aspect of my heart? Here we go.
It is.
Brandy?
Thank you.
Mhm. All right, so, oh, sorry.
Your Honor, just
Mm.
wanted, can we report on the 16th?
All right, we are waiting on 2 plea matters, so while we're doing that, I'm going to go over the calendar. On the final plea calendar, position 1, Stella, will be a plea this afternoon. Position 2, Krista Cousin, will be a plea this afternoon. Position 3 is reset for motions with Lakeisha Obas and Miss Shelley, that will be your client. Position 4, Laura Page was a plea, and that's been completed. On the ORCA show cause calendar at 1:30 PM, it is now 2:21 PM. Most of these cases were reset for show cause because the individual defendants did not appear at prior proceedings. These were show cause for them to have an opportunity to appear, and failure to do so will result in a bench warrant. Position number 1 and 2, Anthony Bullard. Ms. Shelley has announced that, oh, isn't Ms. Shelley in a phone call right now? Okay, I'll hold off on that. Position 3, Brandon Cardenas, Watson Cafe, is a bench warrant for $1,000 surety. Position number 2, Constanza Everhart appeared, and that's reset for a final plea calendar. Right, position 5 is Ms. Shelley's case. I'll hold off on that. Position number 6, D'Angelo Getty. Miss Helen,
Yes, Judge.
any peep from D'Angelo Getty?
No, Your Honor.
All right, with $2,000 surety bench warrant is affirmed. Position 7, I believe Mr. Hendricks is called in to announce he's on the way, so we'll hold till the end of the calendar. Position 8, Justin Wallace. Was that going to go to Miss Helen or Miss Shelley?
Miss
I can take that one, Judge. I'll go ahead and make sure I make my entry into that, for the
Alright.
record to show.
All right, petition number 8, Justin Wallace has still not appeared, so there'll be a $1,500 surety bond affirmed. And position number 9, Requan Jacques Wright Scott, do you know if that's your case, Ms. Helen?
It is my case. I did not have contact with Mr. Wright Scott.
Okay, the $2,000 surety bench warrant is affirmed. Okay, I'll go over Ms. Shelley's cases when she comes back from a phone call. Thank you.
Madam, I have an announcement on position 7, which is Mr. Hendricks.
All right, who is an announcement on position 7?
Karen Shelley on behalf of the show cause calendar, ORCA, position 7, Rodriguez Hendricks.
Okay, what's the announcement?
He's present in the courtroom, Your Honor. He's suffering from.
Have a seat, sir. Have a seat.
He's with his permission, I'm allowed to let the court know that he's suffering from heart failure. And we are going to ask for, I have never met him in person. I don't know the discovery, so I'm going to ask for a final plea or jury trial calendar, whatever the court prefers.
All right.
He also has.
Who's with you, Mr. Hendricks? All right. Mr. Hendricks, your public defense attorney, her name is Karen Shelley. She is going to be taking over your case. And we'll need your current phone number and email to send to Ms. Shelley so that she can communicate with you to see how they can resolve your case. Your next calendar is going to be reset for a final plea. Okay? I'm going to make an exception and let you appear via Zoom. Are you familiar? Okay.
Yes.
And when you appear via Zoom, make sure that you've already completed all the paperwork if you're taking a plea. All right? Ms. Shelley, you can get in touch with Ms. Kasudakis or Ms. Githia.
Miss Georgia is going to be the prosecutor, and Rosita is the representative for my client, given his health condition.
Okay.
Rosita.
All right, so both of you will decide what you want to do prior to the final plea calendar where he appears via Zoom. All right, make sure your address, your phone number, and email are current with the court. All right, we can somebody give him a piece of paper so that we can get his current address and phone number.
I think Miss BK is probably
Miss Rosenhuber is getting the information.
Perfect. She's so wonderful.
Okay. After that, you're free to go. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Hold on one second, I'm sorry.
Your Honor, if I may interrupt quickly or not, so you can pause me whenever you want to.
Go ahead.
But number 7, Mr. Hendricks apparently had a bench warrant. So I just want to make sure the solicitor's office and that the court would be able to lift that, remove it, withdraw it.
Yeah, if repeat the question again, I want to make sure I heard it correctly.
Well, number 7, Mr. Hendricks,
Right?
Rodriguez had a bench warrant issued.
Yeah, I vacated it. So it's
Okay.
just an oral one until
Thank you.
I normally don't sign them out until the calendar's concluded.
Thank you. Just wanted to make sure.
No problem. Thank you. Brandy, I sent you.
Yes, Your Honor.
This is State versus Charles Sella, case number 21 CR 0057822Y. Mr. Sella is present with his attorney, Mr. Nathaniel Blackman. And Mr. Sella, you've been advised of your right to remain silent. And for purposes of this plea, may I place you under oath? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Sella was originally accused of 5 misdemeanor offenses, one of which included driving under the influence of alcohol less safe. Pursuant to the negotiation with the state, they are going to proceed with the remaining charges of DUI, alcohol less safe, possession of an open alcohol container, and misdemeanor obstruction of an officer. The remaining 2 charges shall be null pros. Is that correct, Mr. Blackman?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Right. So we are going to have the prosecution articulate what are the conditions in exchange for a guilty plea. And then Mr. Sella, you and your attorney will be inquired accordingly.
Yes. Okay. Yes,
Ms.
Your Honor.
Gutierrez?
Yes. As to the DUI alcohol less safe, it is 12 months to serve 24 hours, credit for time served 24 hours. The balance is probated to pay a $500 fine, to do 40 hours of community service, to do an alcohol drug evaluation and any required treatment, to attend a risk reduction course, attend 1 victim impact panel and license forfeiture. The possession of open alcohol container is a $200 fine. Obstruction of law enforcement officer is 12 months probation, a $300 fine, which will be concurrent. And the remaining charges, which is illegal stop, stand, park where prohibited, and failure to change address, name on driver's license will be dismissed. Null pros. Does the defense stipulate to the facts, venue, and ID?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's all I have,
Yes,
Your
yes,
Honor.
possible. Yes. Yeah, with the exception of, Your Honor, we just want to make it on the record that the court has said he keep his license for 1 week.
His license will be subject to suspension in exchange for a limited driving permit pursuant to the affidavit of first conviction, effective from February 9th, 2024. Would that be, that's 1 week from today?
It's 1 week from today.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you for that. Leniency.
Don't make it more complicated by getting into any traffic fender benders between now and February 9th.
Yeah.
Okay,
I know.
all right. You so stipulate, and Mr. Blackman, your client has agreed to the terms of these 3 offenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Now, are there any of the conditions that have been listed which have been completed?
Yes, tell the court.
Yes, Your Honor. I did an assessment, a drug and alcohol evaluation assessment, as well as mental health. And then
When was the alcohol and drug evaluation done?
I have all the paperwork here for you. Let me see. Dates. I'll make it easy. It was November 30th, I believe, is when I got my initial evaluation done.
I'm sorry, I couldn't understand what you just said.
November.
November,
November 30th,
what year?
last year,
2023?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Have you done 40 hours of voluntary community service?
I'm at 35 right now.
Okay, so that's still ongoing. You would need to get a letter from your probation officer. I mean, not your probation officer, from the nonprofit agency. With the letterhead and the signature of the supervisor, in which it's stating that you've completed at least 40 hours.
Yes, Your Honor.
So
I've got a copy
this
of
will
it.
be still considered ongoing. Is it a church or a school?
No, it's Roswell Recycling Center.
Okay. So that's not done. What about the risk reduction program?
No, Your Honor,
No, yes.
I did a class for a super speeder a couple years ago.
No, that's not the risk reduction.
Oh, I
That's
don't-
not risk reduction. Okay, thank you. And have you attended a victim impact panel or any programs organized by MAD? No?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So Mr. Sella, have you consumed any medication or alcohol recently?
No, Your Honor. I take medication for my PTSD, but it's prescribed and I've been going to AA for 6 months now.
Okay, that's good. But you're still able to understand what's going on so far?
Yeah, I do.
And are you satisfied with the services you've received from the law firm, including from Mr. Blackman?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is anyone forcing you or inducing you to enter a guilty plea today, other than myself? No, okay. And has your attorney explained to you that if you enter a guilty plea today, that you will not have an opportunity for a trial before a judge or a jury? You will not be able to go back to court, face your accuser, challenge the evidence that's brought against you by witnesses and evidence presented by the prosecution. You will not have an opportunity to have an attorney present your legal arguments and your defenses if you choose to do so. And also, you will not be able to have the state carry its burden to prove the charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
This will be a final disposition, not subject to appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you understand that this could also have an impact upon your driving history? It could add points, the license suspension. In addition to that, it could also have an impact on professional licenses, job licenses, and your residency if applicable.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you still willing to move forward with this plea?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
How do you plead to one count of driving under the influence of alcohol less safe?
No contest. I do that.
Was guilty plea that you entered into?
I say no contest. I say guilty. Guilty. I guess. Yes, sir.
How do you plead to
Guilty, Your
driving
Honor.
okay. How do you plead to one count of possession of an open alcohol container?
Guilty.
And how do you plead to one count of misdemeanor obstruction of an officer?
Guilty, Your Honor. Guilty.
If you're hesitating and if you don't want to proceed with this plea, you always have an opportunity to have a trial. I mean, it's not the be all and end all to take a plea today. But if you're hesitating or evasive or I'm not really comfortable taking this plea since you seem to be straddling the fence, so to speak.
Do you want to withdraw your plea?
No, I don't feel like I obstructed, but I don't want to waste the court's time.
You're not wasting my time, sir. It's your
And I think the
your
deal is fair, as far as everything goes. I don't want to sit there and create the longer situation here for anybody.
But I guess the question is, do you want to withdraw your plea to any of these counts? You have the right to do so. If you want to withdraw your plea to any of these counts and go to trial. I think Mr. Hood already explained this.
Yeah, I'm gonna just say, I'm gonna take the guilty plea, Your Honor.
I mean, I'm not pressuring you and the court's not pressuring you. So hopefully this is free and voluntarily, that you're understanding that you don't have to take a guilty plea.
In all forthrightness, Mr. Seller, the only reason I denied the plea is because if you and your attorney are committed to taking a plea, I find no rhyme or reason to reset the case. Do you understand?
Yes.
Considering that I've extended your license suspension time.
Right.
But if you are not absolutely committed to taking this plea freely, willingly, and knowingly, then you have a right to withdraw your plea and demand a jury trial. What would you like to do?
I'll take the guilty plea, Your Honor.
Okay. So how do you plead to one count of obstruction of a law enforcement officer?
Guilty.
On the DUI charge, your sentence is 12 months to serve 1 day, credit for time served 1 day. The balance will be probated. You will report to the probation office on February 15th, 2024 before 3 p.m. The probation office is located at 132 Mitchell Street in downtown Atlanta. You must report before 3 p.m. on February 15th.
I have a probation officer now. Can I just call Senior Officer Merriweather?
I don't know who your probation officer is in which case. This is a brand new probation case.
Okay, yes, Your Honor.
So you must report and you will get a new probation officer. If it turns out to be the same officer, all the best. But if it's not, then you have to report to 2 officers. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
While you're on probation for the DUI, you will pay a $500 fine, complete the remainder of your 40 hours of community service. You will not have to do the alcohol and drug evaluation since that's completed. You will need to complete the risk reduction and attend one victim impact panel. As indicated, your license will be suspended effective February 9th, 2024, at which point then you can obtain a limited driving permit with the submission of an affidavit of first conviction.
I guess, Your Honor. How long does that stay relevant for after?
A limited driving permit, 1 year,
Okay,
duration of your sentence for DUI.
thank you.
On the obstruction of a law enforcement officer, it will be 12 months probation concurrent with the DUI. In other words, it will be served at the same time as the DUI sentence, and there's an additional fine of $300. With regards to the open alcohol container, that will be a $200 fine, which is concurrent with the DUI sentence. So your total fine will be $1,000 plus your probation fees, plus any surcharges, as well as the cost to complete these conditions. You will have 1 year to complete these conditions. Anything else, Mr. Blackman?
That's all, Your Honor. It's negotiated plea.
And please remain for him to get his affidavit of first conviction and the copy of disposition and his probation paperwork.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good luck.
And Your Honor, I'm just looking at my notes. Mr. Getty showed up in person.
President filling out the public defender application. He's behind me. I'm going to be blocking it. Mr. Getty?
Oh, there he is. Okay, I got him. You can finish up. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Judge. I just got the same notes. That's going to be Ms. Catrice's case. Ms. Helen, would you like me to call him, or are you comfortable with calling him?
Yeah, I'll call Mr. Getty.
Okay.
It's noted that the license suspension is effective February 9th.
Okay, that's Ms. Page.
Miss Page. Oh, this is Miss Page, sorry. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to second for that.
And this is Miss Cousin.
Yes.
Thank you. This is State versus Krista with a K, Raquel Cousin, case number 21 CR 003-329Y. Ms. Cousin, you are here in person with your attorney, Mr. Scott Miller. You've been advised of your right to remain silent. Anything, and well, were you here tonight? I couldn't recall. Mr. Miller wasn't here, right?
Judge, I was a few minutes late today.
Okay,
Yes.
but you were here? Well, let me just reiterate. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say in open court, your statements can and will be used against you. This is going to be a plea hearing, so may I place you under oath?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. The prosecutor is going to tell me what are the terms to which you all have agreed, and then I'll ask you a series of questions, okay?
Judge.
Ms. Gutierrez?
For the plea on alcohol at this state, it is 12 months to serve 3 days, credit for time served 3 days, balance probated, to pay a $300 fine, to do 40 hours of community service, 1 risk reduction course, the alcohol bill evaluation and any required treatment, 1 victim impact panel, and license forfeiture. For the remaining charges, it will be no cost.
Okay. Mr. Miller, do you stipulate to the factual basis, venue, and ID?
I do, Judge.
And are you all seeking an affidavit of first conviction?
We are, Your Honor.
And are there any of the conditions that have been completed or in progress?
Judge, she's signed up for a number of the obligations. I don't have anything to present to the court today. She
Okay,
tells me that she's going to be quickly getting these things accomplished.
all right. So these are still deemed incomplete. So whatever you have ongoing, you can show that to your probation officer. And they will just keep a running track of your progress until they are completed.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Miss Miss Cousin, have you consumed any medicine or alcohol recently?
No, ma'am.
And have you understood the proceedings so far?
Yes, my lawyer explained.
Okay, and are you satisfied with your lawyer?
Yes, very satisfied.
All right, and is anyone forcing you or inducing you to take this plea offer today?
No, ma'am.
And has it been explained to you that if you plead guilty, you will not have an opportunity for a trial in this case? There will be no judge or jury to address your case, and you will not get a chance to confront your accuser, to have the ability to challenge the evidence brought against you, to be able to present your own arguments and defenses if you choose to do so. And also, you will have to waive your right to have the state carry its burden to prove the charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yes, ma'am. I understand.
All right, and you're prepared to give up these rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And has your attorney explained to you that this is a final ruling of the case and there's no appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
And a DUI on your record can have a detrimental effect upon your driving history, insurance rates, any job licenses you may have, your residency, and so forth.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you still willing to go forward with this plea?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you plead to one count or driving under the influence of alcohol less safe?
Guilty.
Accept your guilty plea. Your sentence is 12 months to serve 3 days, credit for time served 3 days. The remainder of the time will be placed on probation. You report to probation on February 15th before 3 p.m. That's a Thursday. The probation office is located down the street at 132 Mitchell Street in Atlanta, Georgia. While on probation, you pay a $300 fine. You complete 40 hours of voluntary community service at any nonprofit agency, which is not a church and not a school.
Okay.
All right. You are to complete a risk reduction program, submit to an alcohol and drug evaluation with any qualified health provider, and submit yourself to any treatment if required. In addition, you will also attend one victim impact panel as administered by probation. Upon your conviction, your license is suspended, but I'll grant you an affidavit of first conviction. Do you still possess your driver's license?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Upon your surrender of the driver's license, you will receive the affidavit. Just hang on to it and we'll give it to Ms. Bolton, because she still needs to do the affidavit. Well, actually, Ms. Bolton's right here.
Ah,
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. Yes.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Upon receiving the affidavit, you can apply for a limited driving permit with the Department of Driver Services, and your driving will basically restrict it to necessary requirements: church, school, medicine, work, going to probation, court appearances, so forth. All right?
Yes,
No
ma'am.
recreational use.
Yes, ma'am.
Get somebody to chauffeur you.
Yes.
Be nice of that. Okay.
Uber.
Anything else, Mr. Miller?
Judge, just the affidavit is our only request.
Okay.
And that would complete our business.
All right, if you hold a few moments, as soon as Ms. Bolton is done with it, you'll receive it. And I think, have you completed the probation form?
I don't believe so.
Okay, as soon as that's done, then are you doing probation forms for them?
Yes, sir.
All right, just hold please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Y'all can have a seat in the gallery or here. You're welcome. Okay, okay, this is D'Angelo Getty. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm canceling that bench warrant. Okay. And what's he doing, by the way?
He is speaking with Patrice Helen.
Oh, okay.
Y'all need anything else? Read my notes on those forms, right? If the seal is not on, you're not gonna take it, so just don't. Okay, so on the first one, on the permit, on the first, don't make a copy of it, because if you make it, yeah, they will not take it if you don't have it still right there. But that's why I don't. Thank you.
Has anyone appeared on Zoom that's not been called? All right, we'll be in a brief recess until we address Mr. Getty's case. All right, thank you.
Ms. Githia, I've sent you a message in the chat. I don't know if.
Ms. Helen, any progress with Mr. Getty's case?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm speaking to Mr. Getty right now in the hallway. I
All
think
right.
we have a resolution, or at least an announcement pretty soon here.
Okay, thank you.
Judge, I do have an announcement when the court's ready.
All right, yes.
Judge, for position 6, Mr. D'Angelo Getty, he is going to be accepted for today. I just, because I know Odyssey is down, but it's credit for time served. I just want to make sure this is a time served offer.
I don't know what are the details, but Ms. Casadecas, what's the
Yes.
state proposed offer?
It's 12 months probation, credit for time served, FVIP, and no further contact with the victim.
And
Under,
how much time is being credited?
Do you know, Ms. Helen?
I don't, well, is Mr. Getty in the courtroom?
He is.
Uh,
Mr. Getty,
Mr.
please stand up.
If he could come to the podium, just so we can hear.
Time to serve and, Ms. Helen, do you have the victim's name?
And I promise you, I don't have the spelling correctly, but Akila Hillman, at least Hillman, correct?
Can you just put it in the chat?
Yes. And also, Mr. Getty, how many days of incarceration did
It
you
was
do?
one. It was one. I got a signature line that day.
Take your hands out of pocket, please.
My bad. I said it was one. I got a signature bond the next day.
So
So,
you spent one night in jail?
Yeah.
Okay.
so credit for time served 1 day.
Mhm.
And so, yes, Judge, he is accepting this offer from the state.
All right. Have you gone over the plea paperwork with your client?
Judge, I have not, so I can go over those questions with him in just a second and we can come back.
Okay. Mr. Getty, the state is going to draft the plea documents and then you and your attorney will go over those documents just so you understand the consequences of pleading guilty to this offense.
Yes, ma'am.
Right, after which one we'll have a plea hearing.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. If you have a seat, we'll make sure the documents get to you.
Thank you,
Okay.
Judge.
So, Ms. Casadakis, when you email the documents to Ms. Helen, could you also email it to Ms. Bolton so that we can print it out? and
Yes.
Have it available for Mr. Getty.
Absolutely.
All right, brief recess until Mr. Getty's case is addressed.
And Judge, I think we're ready on position 6. It will be a plea this afternoon.
Is that with Mr. Hendry?
Um,
No, 6 is again, yeah. Have you gotten the paperwork already?
no, Judge, I just wanted to inform the court that
Okay. Yeah, I think Ms. Cassidakis is preparing the paperwork to email to you and Ms. Bolton. And we'll make a printout and give it to him so you can review it with him.
Thank you so much, Judge.
Okay. Ms. Helen, Mr. Getty is going to step outside with the proposed plea documents. If you want to go over with him. Do you have his
Okay,
number?
Judge.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What do you need? Here we go. Here. Oh. Yeah, you can call him now. Miss Helen, are you ready to address Mr. Getty's case?
I'm sending the forms back now, Judge.
Oh, I received his completed form. I did not.
Or for my signature, would we just,
Oh, that's right. You
I
can.
thought I would send a signed copy with all the good stuff included and he could sign on his own.
All right. I'll wait for your version then. Go ahead.
Understood, Judge. I've sent that email.
Did you CC Ms. Bolton?
I did. I just sent it. It may take
All
a
right.
additional
Thank
moment.
you.
That's my original. One moment, Your Honor, just about 3 minutes. No, he said he gave it back to me. So he gave it back. You gave me back his form? You gave me back his form? Okay.
Which one are you looking for?
I'll just fill it out again, Your Honor.
No, which one are you looking for? What? This is one sitting right there by the phone.
No, that's not it. That's not it. Okay, well, can you fill out another one for me? You know what I'm saying that you received this. I need this one to fill it out. That one. Yeah, I need that. Filled out. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe the last study I did, yeah.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm printing it out.
Today's Groundhog Day. Do you know if the little guy made an appearance?
You were pretty sunny out there today now.
Mr. Getty, if you please come up to the podium, sir. I'm going to take your lawyer's form, and if you could sign an initial like you did originally. So I think you have a pen still? No? Okay. So on the front page will be one, and then on the second page is your initial and your signature. Okay? And I'll give you the original just to, do you need the original? Okay. Thank you. All right, this is State versus D'Angelo Getty, case number 21 CR 003-041Y. Mr. Getty was originally accused of battery family violence on May 25th, 2021 in Fulton County, Georgia. In this particular case, Mr. Getty, you've been advised of your right to remain silent. You need to put your hands down, sir. Okay, thank you. Anything you choose to say about the facts of the case, your statements can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney, and representing you today is Ms. Helen from the Public Defender's Office.
Yes, ma'am.
With regards to this particular charge, this is going to be a negotiated plea hearing. So may I place you under oath? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Kassidakis, what is the state's recommendation?
State's recommendation, 12 months probation, served 1 day, credit for time served 1 day, balance probated, an FIP course, and a no further contact with Akila Hillman.
And Judge, that is our understanding of that plea. We asked this court to accept the plea as negotiated, and we also do stipulate to the factual basis, venue, and ID.
Thank you. Mr. Getty, have you consumed any medicine or alcohol?
No, ma'am.
And have you understood your attorney as well as the proceedings so far?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with your counsel?
Yes, ma'am.
And is anyone forcing you to take this plea offer today?
No, ma'am.
And as you've already read these documents and spoken to your attorney, you understand that you would have to give up your right to a trial, to give up your right to face your accuser, challenge the evidence brought against you, be able to present any defenses or arguments, and have the state carry its burden to prove the charge against you beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yes, ma'am.
Prepared to give up these rights?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you plead to one count of battery family violence?
Guilty.
I'll accept your guilty plea to this charge. Your sentence is 12 months to serve 1 day, credit for time served 1 day. The remainder of the time will be served on probation. You report to the probation office on February 15th. That's 2 weeks from today.
I got a question for that.
Yeah,
I'm already on supervised probation.
you already on supervised
Yeah,
probation? In which
I ain't
county?
be running around all over the place. So
In which county?
Fulton County. So can I just run it concurrent?
No, it can't be concurrent to your other sentence. It can be concurrent to another charge in the same case, or it can be concurrent to another case where you're being sentenced at the same time.
I just don't want to like have to run around.
Well, your first report date is going to be February 15th for this date. And then you let your probation officer know that you've already got another probation case.
All right,
And then make arrangements with him or her so that whenever you report, it will be for both cases.
all right,
You will have to take the effort to make sure that you report to probation for both cases on the same day.
I know, I report every month for
You
my
report
other case.
once a month, yes.
Yeah,
How long do you have left on the other case?
5 years.
Well, this is only 1 year,
All right,
all right?
yeah,
In this particular matter, like I said, your first report date is February 15th before 3 p.m. And when you are when you go there, make sure your probation officer knows about your other case.
it's still right there.
Right there, correct.
All right,
And you just make sure that the dates all are at the same time,
all right,
okay? While you're on probation, you must do a domestic violence intervention program. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but that's a 24-week program. And you must enroll in a domestic violence school where they have these classes once a week. Now, before you enroll in any particular domestic violence school, make sure that that school is qualified with your probation officer.
all right,
So tell your probation officer, this is a school I'm going to, XYZ, is that okay?
all right.
Okay? At all times, you have to have no contact with Akila Hillman. Would that be a problem?
No, but I just want to know how I'm gonna get my son.
You share a son with her?
Yeah,
And how old is your son?
5.
5 years old.
Yeah.
Are you currently parenting with your son?
Mm.
Okay, then you should file a legitimation action with the Superior Court of Fulton County.
All right.
Were you married with Miss Hillman when you were
No.
a child?
No,
Okay.
ma'am.
Is your name on the birth certificate?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. That does not legitimate your child.
I know.
You have to go to Superior Court, file a legitimation action, and get a Superior Court order to establish joint custody and visitation schedule.
All right.
All right?
Yeah.
That's the easiest way. All right? And in 185 Central Avenue, there is a self-help office where they can give you the forms to fill that out.
It's all right. I know how to do it.
Hmm?
It's all right. I know how to do it.
Oh, okay. Then we are way ahead of the game. Any other questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, that completes your disposition. Is there anything that we need to give to Mr. Getty at the present time?
No, Judge, not from the defense.
All right, Ms. Bolton,
I'll give him a copy of his probation.
okay, we'll give you a copy of your probation form and then you're free to go. Have a seat. Thank you.
And Judge, I believe that's all my cases. May I be excused?
Yes, you may. And that concludes our calendar for today. Ms. Cousin and Ms. Getty are just waiting for documents. All right, everyone, you'll have a great weekend. Thank you.
So much, Judge.
Bye-bye.